What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Bill Maher, person hardly ever agree with, but he really has been pushing to end cancel culture. So he comes out and makes these bold statements about cancel culture, and guess what? People are mad at him. His base or whatever, his political people that like them, they're just like, why is he talking about this? He's unwatchable now. I can't stand this guy anymore. Cancel culture doesn't exist. Cancel culture this, but listen to this statement, and then we'll talk about it.
The director of the opening ceremony was fired hours before, before the event because they found out there was a Holocaust joke in a comedy routine he did decades ago. Well, you know, context is everything. Obviously, it didn't strike people as beyond the pale at the time. Young people have to stop flattering themselves that they're Nostradamus and would have foreseen, had they been around then, everything that's unacceptable now. And for further context, Mel Brooks wrote one of the most successful musicals of all time around the song Springtime for Hitler. Why do we allow the people who just want to bitch to always win? Days before that firing, the opening ceremony's musical director was also forced out because someone dug up an interview with him from 1994 where he admitted to bullying classmates as a child. As a child. Remember when your teacher used to try and scare you by saying, this is going to go on your permanent record? Yeah. No longer an empty threat now. And the creative director of the entire shebang, of the whole Olympics, got shit-canned because he once made a fat joke in a private conversation. This is called a purge. It's a mentality that belongs in Stalin's Russia.
Woo!
How bad does this atmosphere we are living in have to get before the people who say cancel culture is overblown admit that is in fact an insanity that is swallowing up the world?
And now they want him canceled. Instead of digging through the Twitter stuff now, I'm glad this article, which I don't exactly agree with, but they kind of collected them all to show that they don't like when people come out against cancel culture. They kind of are like, what is this? I mean, read some of this response. I can't read some of these because of the wording, but this is from Bishop Swan. Talking about his Mayonnaise Tears tour continues with attacking wokeness. Bill Maher rages against cancel culture because he's in the category of people who should be canceled. White, heterosexual, misogynistic. I mean, white men, and he knows it. Their reign is no longer supreme. Wow. I had a Bill Maher joke, but it's irrelevant. I mean, Bill Maher is entirely unwatchable at this point. I was a fan. These are blue check marks. The blue check mark crowd. Every time Bill Maher trends on Saturday morning, it's just a reminder that I'm thankful I've never watched his show. Wow. Bill Maher is that white guy who is bitter. He's no longer hip and down with the cool kids. So every segment is him ranting about the sky, about people being too sensitive. Wow. Who would think Bill Maher is an a-hole would be controversial Twitter take, even to Bill Maher? I mean, they just going after him, man. Bill totally crafts a response to a straw argument no one is making. Cancel culture is real, people. You want to talk about Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart was canceled from the Oscars from a joke he posted on Twitter 9 years ago. 9 years ago. This one brings up, pandemic. And Stephen Miller says the people upset at this is telling. Yeah. Yeah, because they this is their power. This is the rebellion, speaking out against that stuff. This is what they have. You know, imagine scaring people so much that if we found out you made a joke back in high school, if we found out that you might have bullied somebody when you were in elementary school, if we found out that, then you're done. You're done. You better comply. Or if they've got a bunch of friends and they're just like, we got to get rid of this dude. Let's dig up something 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago when he was in elementary school and we'll get him canceled. That's what they did to somebody that's at the Olympics. This is a real cultural war here. Anyway, kind of a longer video. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Listen, I know I normally do Star Wars news and Marvel news, but at the end of it all, it's all this is about cancel culture. It just comes back into the forefront on everything. And you just got to call it out. You just got to call it out. How can you fire somebody for a private conversation that they had when they were in school? That's the world we live in. The world we live in. We never give the opportunity for people to change, to understand, to see error in their ways, forgiveness, growth. Kevin Hart said it best, and I will continue to use this quote, when he was canceled from the Oscars for a joke he posted on Twitter 9 years ago. Or maybe it was Facebook. It was on social media. Sorry. He said, they spent so much time and money to dig up something harmful from my past that they could have done the same to see how I've changed and become a better person and grown into the future. And that's just where we are. As humans, we learn, we make mistakes, we grow. Are there bad people in the world that should be canceled? Absolutely. Absolutely there is. Canceling someone because of a social media post 10 years ago? Come on now.